The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action. Herbert Spencer. Knowledge, but action. Think about that. It's not what you know, it's how you apply it. That is so very critically important. If you aren't practice trading over and over and over again, look at what you are missing out on. Look at our weekly vertical crossover profit potentials through the end of May this year. We've had 3 points for jumping into the S&P 500, into the NASDAQ 100, into bonds, and 3 into gold. Look at the potential percentage returns here. And again, not saying you're going to get all of this. Why? Because you've got to have the skill set to know when to get out, how to follow the 2-day and the weekly charts, how to use the trend lines, how to use the Heikin Ashi candlesticks, the derivative oscillator and the price percent oscillator on your smaller charts, how to make those decisions. Getting every bit of the profit potential here is not possible on your practice trades. If you get it all, fabulous. But look at the potentialities. Look how accurate the jumping in points have been. It is absolutely beautiful. How hard is this? Can you apply this to other stocks and ETFs? Absolutely. And in fact, due to your demand and request, we are seriously consider bringing back the Accelerated Market Mastery course. I'll talk more about that and be interviewing people to take it. It is going to be very limited in the number of students. It was extremely limited the last time. Don't know when we'll offer it again, but I'm gathering up my energy to do so. We'll release it first to our Patreon and book buyers, and then if there's any room left, to other people. Plus the Patreon members will get the maximum discount. Next in line will be the book buyers. Thank you so much for all of your support. Let's jump into these charts. What do we see going on? We see stocks up, bonds and gold down. We see Bitcoin way up, property also up, that is real estate, and we see gold, black gold, that is oil, up. So we'll talk more about that when we get to it. Let's first jump into the S&P 500, up another 0.83% for the day since we had that weekly vertical crossover. It has been quite sweet. We can see we're reaching a higher high. We have a green up candle, price percent oscillator going up, derivative oscillator going up. Again, still on the run, my friends. Ended it at 308.08. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at that 2-day chart. We finished drawing that 2-day candle. And again, we see it shooting up just like stair steps running up the 2-day trend line. Price well above the weekly. Derivative oscillator gaining momentum. Price percent oscillator heading up. 4-hour chart. We see it pulling away from the red signal line. Again, 2 days of nice, strong up movement. We can redraw that 2-day trend line or the 4-hour trend line. Beautiful price, well above the weekly, above the 2-day, and above the 4-hour. When's the market going to crash? I don't know, friends, but if you haven't taken our Corona investing course, we're going to put it at the end of today's video. Also, don't forget, this is the final wrap-up of part 3 of options trading. This is the big one. This is what ties it all together, that gives you everything you need to be able to start practice trading options. It's Options Made Simple Part 3, how to practice trade options. Those of you who signed up and subscribed for free at chartingwealth.com will see it in your email today. Those of you who didn't, you missed out. We'll offer it again in the next few weeks, but you need to subscribe at chartingwealth.com. Don't forget Patreon members. We have our live Patreon Q&A call-in training tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern Daylight Time. That is on Wednesday. And again, send out those emails to you. If for some reason you haven't gotten it and you're a Patreon member, you need to go ahead and email me right now, cw@chartingwealth.com. If you want to become a Patreon member, the $30 level, $1 a day will get you there. Follow the link in the show notes and become one. Okay, we see that 4-hour chart moving up nicely on the cues, popping off that red signal line, heading up. Just beautiful. How good have these been to us? Absolutely beautiful. Jumping in point for the weekly vertical crossover was around the 215 mark on Friday, the 1st of May. How high have we gone so far? From 215 to 235.69 in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, 2 days. Is that gorgeous, my friends? Yes, it's beautiful. Who can do that? You can do that. If you just practice trade with us, look at the S&P 500. It's a shorter time period. Jumping in point 286.24. What's the high? 308.13. Is that beautiful? That's beautiful. I traded that one, and it was so very sweet. Some of you may still be in it on your practice trades. Good for you. Ride that pony. Now, let's go on to TLT. Look at bonds. Beautiful. Going into the second week of down movement. We had that weekly vertical crossover back on Friday the 22nd. Jumping in somewhere at 164.64. Remember, we jump in right at the end of the day on a Friday. And so we've gone from 164.64. What's the low? 161.25. So again, that's some dollars right there. And you might say, wait a minute, what's this clown talking about? How do you make money when things go down? Well, you have TBF. It is a short fund. It actually moves opposite of the underlying 20-year bond fund, TLT, and it is set up to move up at the same percentage that TLT goes down. So there are perils with these kinds of funds. It's the reason we only look at the single short. They do have high fees. They are recalculated on a daily basis. That's why we ask you to practice trade these things, understand and learn them, and at the same time also learn puts, learn options, learn how to make money when the market goes down. You only learn that by practice trading. And again, what was our quote for the day? The great aim of education is not knowledge, but action. If you're not practicing, you're not learning. You're just getting a lot of book knowledge that will serve you no good. Okay, that's where we are. We see bonds continuing to rocket down, just like our weekly vertical crossover said would happen. Derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum, price percent oscillator heading down. Go to the 2-day chart. Looks sweet, doesn't it? Check it out as it continues to move down. That latest 2-day candle, beautiful. See how easy I redraw these things. Those of you listening on iTunes, on the podcast, you can't see how I'm just reshaping things on the chart, redrawing trend lines and all that. That's the beauty of freestockcharts.com or the paid version TC2000. The other beautiful thing about TC2000 is they also have a brokerage fund whenever you get good enough to actually real money trade, but they have a very accurate, beautiful paper trading platform. And you can learn how to do all of it right there at TC2000 for a few dollars a month. It's wonderful. I have used them for years. We have a $25 discount. Look for the link in the show notes. And again, that helps support some of the work that we do here at chartingwealth.com. So consider that. We love those guys. I know the owner personally, Chris Warden, and they are fabulous. Met some of the engineers. I've gone to their training. If you become a member, you can go to the trainings. I think you can go even if you're not, just for free. And they cut them off with the COVID stuff. I went to the very last one in Charlotte. They almost shut it down. God bless Chris for not doing so. I was able to attend that and see the launch of the new version. I don't remember what it is, 20 or something. Anyway, it is fantastic. All sorts of amazing stuff. So consider that. Look for the link in the show notes. So we see the 2-day heading down and derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum, price well below the weekly and the 2-day. We go to the 4-hour now. It's about time to redraw that 4-hour trend line also, and we see things down in the morning, further down in the afternoon. Just beautiful, my friends, just beautiful. Going exactly the way we want them to. Now, the one chart that is still in flux, trying to figure out what the hell it's going to do, is gold. Gold is down for the day 0.65%. It's really been sliding sideways for going on 4 weeks. Well, 3 weeks, 2 days. Look at that price percent oscillator heading down, derivative oscillator positive, losing downward momentum. Where's gold going to go? Well, the weekly's still in a confirmed uptrend. Look at that 2-day though. It crossed over going down back on the 11th of May, then popped up for 6 days, then slid sideways really since then. But that price percent oscillator is heading down, derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. We'll just wait and see what there is to see on gold. 4-hour chart, we can see where we had 2 days of up movement, and then on Tuesday, cranking over, going down. That 4-hour chart hasn't crossed over going down yet, but that price percent oscillator is heading down. Derivative oscillator has been moving down three candles, so 1.5 days. We'll wait for gold to sort itself out. The beautiful thing about what we do, folks, is we never have to trade. You don't have to. The professionals on Wall Street, so-called professionals, many of them are very, very good traders. They know their stuff. Many times they have to trade. I mean, they have to move money around. We're not forced to do that. So our first rule is never lose money. Second rule, make money. You try to force a trade, you're going to lose. And you know how you're going to learn that? By practice trading, by not using real money. As we say over and over again, we're not a stock calling service, we're an education firm. We want you to practice or you're going to get screwed. Now, that's it. That's it for the day when it comes to the 4 big charts. If you're interested in what's going on with Bitcoin, real estate, and black gold, that is oil, we're going to get into those now. Otherwise, God bless you, man. Take care. Have a great evening. Thanks for being with us. Now, let's move on to those other 3 charts. What do we see going on with Bitcoin? Well, we had that weekly vertical crossover going up back on the 8th, and it's been interesting. What did it really do? Well, the last there was $9,391.07. It hit a high of $9,978, almost recovering where it started crashing at $10,323.26. Look at what Bitcoin did. Crashed and then popped back up, has recovered better than pretty much anything. And as we look at Bitcoin, we can see once it hit that high, it really slid sideways for 3 more weeks. But this last week is really trying to gain more. You can see the derivative oscillator gaining some upward momentum. That price percent oscillator spiking up. That's quite nice. 2-day chart. Loading up slow on me. There we go. Look at what's happened over the last 2 days. We've seen a nice big green up candle. That price percent oscillator, which was sort of flat or even heading down, has now moved back up. Derivative oscillator bottomed out and over the last 2 days gained a little bit of energy. Go to the 4-hour chart. What do you see there? Well, we told you. How many of you were paying attention yesterday? At the end of the day, told you to be watching for it. There was a jumping in point around the 94, 97 mark. And of course, how did that do for you? Well, you did pretty good. Got up to $9,934. Again, up 3.9, almost 4%. That's a damn good move, is it not? In a day, pretty good return. Pretty good return. Now again, not our favorite move, a 4-hour recross, because it's a smaller chart and it's fraught with more danger, particularly in these scary times. But we had going for us the weekly and the 2-day in strong positions. So nice to see that happen. Hope those of you interested in Bitcoin practice traded that. If you weren't still in the weekly vertical crossover trade. Okay. Again, important. If you're not practice trading, you're not learning. Okay, go to real estate, up 0.81%. Remember what happened at the end of this last week? We had the weekly vertical crossover going up, and look at how well it served you. Not bad so far, is it? Again, we're watching that derivative oscillator gaining momentum, price percent oscillator heading up. 2-day chart. Again, we see 12 days of up movement. That's nice to see. Price percent oscillator flipped over 6 days ago. And the derivative oscillator flipped over 6 days ago. Price percent oscillator's been heading up since it popped around back on the 19th. So that's good to see. We go from the 2-day to the 4-hour. And we see again where things have been building throughout the course of the day, up in the morning, about the same in the afternoon. So again, that weekly vertical crossover has been quite nice for you folks interested in real estate. Does it make any sense that real estate's going up with properties burning around the Of course not. It doesn't. Do markets make sense? Most of the time, they don't seem to make sense to me. That's why we don't listen to the news. We don't pay attention to the talking heads. We realize the folks at Bloomberg, CNBC, Wall Street Journal, you name it, they're selling you commercials. They want you to buy the stuff that's between the articles and or the videos. So ignore them. Follow price movement. It's the only thing that matters. Lastly, we go to black gold. What do we see there? Well, we see the price percent oscillators heading up for the day, 3.24%. That's really nice. Derivative oscillator has flipped over to positive, but we still have a market in a downtrend because of that weekly. We're waiting for it to cross today. It crossed over back on the 19th. Yes. And again, it popped up and has really been sliding sideways. There's been so much of a loss in oil. We still haven't hit the high that it hit back at $27.49. It got up to $27.10, but that last high was back on the 21st of May. So we'll continue to watch. And again, what are we waiting for? Well, we're waiting for that weekly to cross over going up. We've had 2.5 days of nice, strong up movement on that 4-hour chart, but look how much energy it took with all the down move just to now in the afternoon get that 4-hour chart to cross over going up. So we'll continue to watch, see what that weekly does. Folks, that's where we are as we end the day. Again, those of you who hadn't purchased our book, whether you live overseas or in the States, you live in the States, you can follow the link in the show notes to buy the book. Second edition now available. First printing got in a couple of weeks ago. We've been sending them out all over the world and all over the U.S. If you don't have a copy, we have a copy for you. If you live overseas, for some reason Square won't clear your credit card, but if you'll send us an email, cw@chartingwealth.com, I'll send you a PayPal invoice and we'll send you the book postage paid wherever you are in the world that you can actually get mail. I won't fly there and use a llama to search you out, but we will send it out to you via the U.S. Post, and it'll get pretty much anywhere. Thank you so much. Again, Accelerated Market Mastery will be coming soon. For those of you who are interested, we will be interviewing potential students for that, and it will be a limited class size. I speak personally to everyone. Make sure that they have the ability, the desire, the willingness to do the work in order to be part of our class. So we'll talk more about that in the future. If you're not a Patreon member, can't join us tomorrow for the live call-in, but you can still sign up tonight. When you do, make sure to email me, cw@chartingwealth.com, and I will send you the instructions on how to join us. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.